And happy Monday morning to you, everyone. Hope you had an absolutely great weekend. I had a very enjoyable weekend. And here we are again on Monday morning. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. And we are looking at the issue of the man of sin. Pardon me. John Hagee says, the man of sin is alive. He says the battle of Gog and Magog has already begun. None of these things are true. Absolutely not true. And so we're setting forth what the Bible has to say about this doctrine of the man of sin. By the way, some people say Hal Lindsey did back in the 1980s. Tim LaHaye did in the 1970s. Well, you know, the man of sin is alive somewhere in Europe. So all the way in the 70s and in the 80s, and here we are in the 21st century, we have been told that the man of sin was alive. That simply does not fit the biblical evidence, ladies and gentlemen. Now, some people have tried to tell me, well, he's revealed in the sense that he's been born and he's on the scene somewhere. That doesn't fit. Paul said the day of the Lord would not come until the man of sin was revealed. That word revealed doesn't mean born. It doesn't mean behind the scenes, but alive. That word revealed is from the Greek word apocalypsis. It's the word that is used for the revelation of Jesus Christ at his, quote, second coming, unquote. That is used in 1 Peter, that is used in Thessalonians, it's used in 1 Corinthians, etc., etc. This is not a word that means present but not known, present but not fully exposed and revealed. The word apocalypsis that Paul uses in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, when he says the day of the Lord will not come until the man of sin is revealed, demands the open manifestation, the open knowledge and acknowledgement of the man of sin. So it is absolutely, linguistically speaking, it is absolutely false to say, well, the man of sin could be alive, manifested and revealed in the fact that he's alive somewhere. No. That simply does not work. There's a second issue that I want to emphasize, and that is this audience relevance, for instance, of the great apostasy. Now, Paul uses a word that has a tiny bit of ambiguity to it. He says that day, the day of the Lord, will not come, except the falling away is the normal rendition. Others translate it the apostasy. And it is really a transliteration of the Greek word apostasia. Well, taking the meaning of, apostasy, many people try to extrapolate this out into centuries after Paul. I was raised in a tradition saying that this apostasy that Paul had in mind was, in fact, the Roman Catholic Church that began to develop and then was manifested in the arrival of the Roman Catholic Pope. But once again, this does not fit the data. The Roman Catholic Pope was nowhere around. There was nothing even closely resembling a pope that was known in Paul's day. There was not a structure that resembled the Roman Catholic Church in Paul's day. This didn't develop for a long time. But taking a look at the question, could there have been, was there a great apostasy in the first century that Paul could have been referring to? Well, look, here's where chronology comes into play. Paul was writing in approximately 50 to 52 AD. This is pretty early on. Did an apostasy in the first century church take place? please go back and look at the previous video, in which I discussed Jesus' prediction of the apostasy of the majority of believers. Such a vast endemic apostasy that Jesus asked the rhetorical question, when the Son of Man comes, will he even find faith on the earth? Well, consider this. In Galatians chapter 1, verse 6 and 9, here Paul is referring to and writing to the churches of an entire region. And he says, I marvel that you are so soon removed, and the Greek would indicate that you are so soon found to be turning away from the gospel unto another gospel that's not even a gospel, he said. So here is Paul writing in the Galatian epistle, which was written as early as 49 AD, and he says of an entire region of churches, I marvel that you are so soon removed. And look, all a person has to do is to do a chronological survey of the churches of which we have record. Just look at the problems at the church in Corinth, for crying out loud. Even later in that generation, look at how Paul urges Timothy to prepare himself to be ready to combat the issues that are already there. 1 Timothy 3, 1 Timothy 4, 2 Timothy 3, 2 Timothy 4. Those were all issues that were already present. So, when Paul says the day of the Lord will not come unless the apostasy, and it is the definite article in the Greek, unless that day, that apostasy comes first, the day of the Lord will not come, we need to understand there was, in fact, a great apostasy in the first century prior to the fall of Jerusalem in AD 70. Look, if you want a whole lot more information on the great apostasy, get my book, We Shall Meet Him in the Air, The Wedding of the King of Kings. Go to my website, eschatology.org or bibleprophecy.com, and order the book and say that you saw the offer on Facebook or YouTube, and I'll refund your shipping, saving you $5. Well, hey, do not forget Preterist Pilgrim Weekend coming up July 14th through the 16th with a 2-day formal debate between myself and Dr. David Hester. It's going to be great. You're going to really enjoy this. You can sign up for free live streaming to watch on your own computer at your own convenience as many times as you want. All you got to do is sign up. Go to bibleprophecy.com and register for the live streaming of PPW, Preterist Pilgrim Weekend 2016. Well, thanks so much for joining me for this morning's morning musings, and we've got a whole lot more on the man of sin. So we'll see you on the flip side.